in between.
Do you want me to take the notes or?
Yes.
To cover ourselves in oil. You get baby oil on the way out. Have an ozone layer.
Yeah, that's.
Kind of protected us.
I heard somebody say something
Is this one mine?
bottled something and that was it. Yeah. You know, you couldn't hear, like Tom said something to somebody.
It's in the budget for this year.
I put it together, I got quotes from 5 to 6 different vendors.
Yeah.
for outdoor sign. I got quotes from $15,000 to $35,000.
Wow.
Okay. When they put that sign in originally, it was already outdated. The guy that sold it to them knew that he was not gonna be able to keep it going. And they wrote it to the very, the ugly end.
How old is it?
8 years old. They put it in, I think, about 2015.
It's only 8?
Oh, the pixels are gone.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, it only lasted 8 years.
Yeah. And it just, they kept saying it, Roy kept bringing it up. It's like, here's the spreadsheet, here's the analysis, here's the one you should get. And it was, well, let's put it on next year's budget. So now
Yes, I wish I knew the company that put the one in at Daniel Angel's funeral home out in Robinson she bought, Old Soma. Got to work with the guys to get it put in. But it's actually a device, uses Ethernet, and you can actually sit there and configure it and it pushes it to the sign. It's sweet. I don't know what it costs, but can't remember. But
the one I like is, I could take a picture of you and it would look exactly the same with the small pixels out there. $45,000, There again, it's so bright coming around that turn, that we gotta tone down the lights. It's catching people, you're seeing it, like if you're coming down 50 and it's dark, like night, that's gonna catch your eye. Technically, it's against our sign ordinance to have that kind of sign up. But, yeah, he asked for it again today, I'm like, yeah, we'll see where it goes.
I will say that it was very hard hearing them. Nobody was really talking into the microphone.
And I asked them to do that at the beginning. I said specifically, please stop in your microphone. Even Cindy put this on. And what I'd like to do is put area mics down here, just so they cover and they pick up anything. So we'll see. They're probably going to redo this whole thing soon because we're like you notice that monitor up there.
the Verge.
Oh,
That monitor is probably 15 years old.
we scotch taped just about everything together here. And 10 minutes before the meeting on Tuesday, those monitors didn't even work. Now, 2 of them don't.
And they all have mirroring on them. It's like, yeah, they're all messed up.
Somebody was on the internet today too about not being able to see this when you're on the internet. I'm like, you can be in the room and you can't see this.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, really, we gotta turn those lights down so that it takes the glare off, which means you'll see it better out here. But, I mean, that's that projector too, it's the same projector we're using, We just fine over there. But, yeah, we gotta overhaul this whole room.
Did they bring up anything about board members for us?
Yeah, nobody knew anything, planning, zoning. As far as board members here, yeah, I mean, if you know somebody, tell them to send it to Dawn, just like last time. I mean,
But,
if they don't CC me on it, I don't know that it comes in.
but somebody's gonna has to advertise, the township has to advertise it, right?
Technically, yeah, it should be advertised.
So who does that? Like us or you, or who does it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do it. We're doing it with everything, with planning, zoning, and everything. But yeah, it's on the website right now, so, I know Jim, Asher is interested. And, he was, when he was here, he was very helpful, not only on all the events, and he loves to do that. If you know of anybody, just, tell them to submit their, letter of interest to Dawn Januso, like last time.
Okay, I'll get it posted on Facebook then from the township posting.
Yeah, it's out there under,
Should one of us advertise it in the Observer, or is that you? Because I know we did before.
I mean, not, you guys don't do it.
Okay,
Just said we're putting it all together for all of them.
okay.
And I guess this is something that should have been done before Christmas, but, I don't know who's all involved.
Well, there's hardly anybody here before Christmas. Okay, is that everything we want off the record?
I think,
Okay. Meeting called to order at 6:30.
Eight.
Thank you.
talk to your microphone. Very loud, so,
Go ahead, sing.
All of our fans.
Meeting called to order at 6:38. In attendance is Wendy Johnson, Barb Russman, Jason Wheeler, and Heather Manda. Absent is Arden staff. Township Representative Jack King, no guests, no public comments. So meeting minutes for December 7th, 2023, submitted for board approval. Motion,
Motion.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So 4-0. They passed. Reorganization, nomination for chair.
Go,
You
Wendy.
gotta say it out loud, though.
Wendy.
Second?
Wendy.
No, that don't work.
I second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Nomination for vice chair.
Jason.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Secretary, I'll nominate Heather. Second?
I don't want to do it. I second.
She works off an iPad for work,
Oh,
so it's very hard for her to do things like flyers and stuff like that.
not a problem.
She's still living in 1962.
Yeah.
You're lucky we're,
So, yeah, she has a hard time doing that stuff. Okay. Did we
who's
vote?
taking the notes?
Oh,
You can take them.
I'm just writing for my own
Okay.
sanity.
okay. We did vote on that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Financial status update, Jack?
yeah, I'll send you the spreadsheet. I thought it was on here, but, we, finished up, last year, fairly well. We had about $4,000. At about $4,000. Basically, what we gained from the Fall Festival. We're going to start this year with a $48,500 budget. Set aside $37,000 for the Fall Festival. And then, of course, that's with fundraising and that type of thing, donations, sponsorships, and that type of thing. But we have a consecutive track record of staying under $50,000 for the entire year. So that's what I'm going to stick to. I mean, if we go over a bit, I know, we can absorb that. That's not that big of a deal. But
last year it was mentioned that somebody wanted just an entire pot of money that's available. I'd still like to keep it pretty much contained. We know pretty much how much we spend on each event. And what I'll do is I'll send that via email to you so that you can see it. If I print it out, it's too small. And trying to make it as big as necessary is sometimes a challenge as well. So other than that, I think we're going into 2024 in pretty good shape. I know that we've got to talk about some of the events to see if you want to continue them, and if you want to increase them or make them bigger. We need to understand, basically how we're going to do that. So other than that, yeah, I think we're heading into 2024 in good shape.
Okay. We have to schedule taking lights down. How long can we leave them up without it being a problem?
I can disconnect them, and we can take them down, over a period of time if you want. Whatever anybody's availability is. Rick is, he's kind of a one-man show right now. And you can see the tables are still here. They should have been out of here.
Yeah.
That stuff should have been out of there. We're probably going to get everything out of here this week, but he and we can take them down a little bit at a time. We are going to take down the clips this year. We're not going to leave those up.
Yeah, that didn't work out well.
Put them in a bin. They'll be used clips. So if they're not out in the weather, then we should be able to use them again. And then we'll just separate them from the new ones.
Do we have to buy any more bins, or do we have enough bins for?
I mean, they probably just fit like an old bucket.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We could, we have enough room to put more bins in there. If there's something that we need to put in there. I pick them up as they go on sale, so.
We should have gotten red ones and then put the Christmas stuff in the red ones, and then we wouldn't have known all the bins that were red are the ones that have Christmas stuff in them.
We do have them marked,
They're labeled for
Christmas and
what pavilion and
yeah.
stuff.
which pavilions and that type of thing, so we'll continue to use those.
Okay, so we can let them go at least for now, and,
They should come down, they'll come down much faster than up, so.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and that one string is out on the concession stand on the new section.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that whole string went out over the weekend.
Because when we put it up, it was,
Yeah, I thought it was the fuse. It went back on, so, then I think it's the connection, then I thought, well, maybe kids were messing with it, but,
Is the backside on toward the road?
yeah, the backside's on.
But the
It's-
front half still been off?
Right, it just went off over the weekend, because it had been on since last meeting, when we talked about it.
Okay.
okay, so the one Arden and I put up on the back side stayed working, because we had trouble getting one to work, and we finally did, so, okay.
Yep.
Okay, I meant to try to have a sample letter for fundraising for 2024 today, but I'm sorry, pain overrode my sensibility. I think last year we actually did 2 letters. We sent out the first letter, and it had in it each event, and let them pick and choose what they wanted to sponsor. And then before the Fall Festival, we sent out a second letter to others we knew would be interested, but we hadn't heard from. So is that the route we want to go, or do we want to do a completely new letter and just try to hit it once at the beginning of the year?
If you ask them what they want to do, then that gets weird with like the signs and everything.
Exactly, and that's where we ran into problems.
Whenever they want to donate to, I don't know.
I understand, like, other than putting up the things, that we put up for each event, that lists them that we put around the concession stand and that.
Yeah.
It's, the 2-day event is the only good time to put up the actual cardboard signs.
Yeah, and I think we should relook at the whole, like, different size signs for different donors, like, if there's a different way to do that, because we spent a fortune on all these different size signs. If we could just put like a gold star on or something that's not making us do all these different size signs, because that was a lot of money. And a lot of aggravation too. With, I don't know.
Well, it is something we have to be deciding because the letters have to get out. So I can write up a couple different things and send them to everybody, and then you can tweak or decide what you like best.
I mean, on the other hand, we do have all these gigantic signs already, and that's probably the same people, so we can
Rejected
still
me.
use them.
Do you advertise, like, by, I've never seen them before, do we like platinum sponsor, gold, is that how you do it?
Yeah,
Is that
whenever
what
she
it
sent
does?
the letter
Okay.
out, it told them, like, if you donated this much, you get this size sign. If you donate this much, so then we had to make these signs. So then the next year, the same company gives less, then we have to make another sign for the same people.
And then we had people come back with more money later.
Which would upgrade them to a.
So any
everybody
thoughts,
got the
Jack, from
same
you?
size and we had labels to put on the sign.
I think the first 2 years, it worked relatively well. You know, I mean, we find out from the printer what size they can do, and then you assign it, you know, based on, and really, it's more of a fundraising type thing than anything else. The more money you give, the bigger the sign you get. What I'm concerned about, two things I'm concerned about right now. We've got people that advertised or actually supported us, and then they disappeared. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is, we don't, you know, when a Range Resources or a Gateway gives us $5,000 to $7,000, and somebody who gives us 250 gets the same size sign, there's somebody's going to say something about it. So it's, you know, do we make them all the same size and, you know, just leave it at that? And, you know, or, you know, I think with, and now that Bill Schiavone is one of our supervisors, we have to be careful, you know, with Always Safe. But that's his dad's company. So, you know, we can still maintain the signs that are there, you know, and big, all that to say is that we just don't want to offend anybody, you know, because once they go, they go. And it's going to be hard to get them back. If you want to go all the same size or, you know, keep the signs as they are, I mean, we could do that just as easily. I just think that we've got to see how it looks outside, you know, to the average person. Is somebody going to walk away from it saying, look, they gave more money, they got a bigger sign, or is it the fact that they're just sponsoring what we're doing?
Yeah, I noticed during Oktoberfest, for how longer I was able to be there, that they did a lot of list signs, and it was only the very big donors that had individual signs. And I did notice that. And I mean, I understand what Barb's saying too. Like, you know, our biggest ones, and we know who they are, you know, we need to really take care of them. And we want to take care of everybody, but, you know, her idea about having, you know, like a platinum star or not a platinum star, but a gold star or silver would work. You just want it to be able to be removed so that the next year, if they give more or don't give as much, you can adjust the star.
So in other words, take the signs that we have and just add a star to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be fine if they understand. See, that's the other thing. It needs to be explained to those people that are supporting us, that's how they're being represented.
Yeah.
Or if we try to work with what we have already and not, you know, then at least advertise in our letter the size of what we already have. Like, if you donate this much, like Range has a big banner and Always Safe has a huge sign, like, and then maybe they'll keep giving that same amount.
You have a list, right, of what size?
Yes, it's on my phone.
Okay. Because I can actually, when I do the letter, for those that we have signs for, I can actually put in the letter, this is the size sign we have for you.
Okay. I'll
So
probably
my
have to go-
thing with that is, if you have a donor, say they gave 5,000, they got a 4 foot by 4 foot sign, right?
Yeah,
Another donor steps up and gives more, they give $4,000 or $5,000, but we already had a sign for them. that's this big, and we put a platinum sticker on it. That ain't gonna look, that's,
No, that's not, we couldn't do that.
yeah, I mean, that's not gonna fly.
Yeah. It's
I agree, and that's the perception that I'm talking about. How is it perceived by them? I'm basing this on something, several years ago when I was teaching at school, a lady, an alum came in and sponsored a speaker. It happened to be Louis Lips from the Steelers, all right? Hadn't been with the Steelers for a long time, all right? She was upset that she didn't get the notoriety that, others had, and made a big to-do about it. We don't want that big to-do about, any problem. So I want to err on the side of too much as opposed to not enough.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
All right, I'll work something up and get it sent out. Now, something else, I watch all the other parks and what they're doing. And now, Washington's a park that has a dedicated park events planner. And she's actually been doing some fundraising, like she has a bingo event at Red Fox Winery. And right now, she's doing the Super Bowl chance
Squares.
thing. Squares, yeah. And, it's working for them. And I don't know how the supervisors here would ever feel about that, but I actually did have somebody approach me about sponsoring a bingo on behalf of the parks. So. In Lawrence. But I mean, really, it could be
Just out
anywhere.
of the goodness of their heart, or they get a cut of it, or how does that work?
No, they just
Okay.
support us. Yep.
We
I
don't
mean,
have
heck,
to do it.
we could have a spaghetti dinner over
Our four
generations.
people.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, I mean, there's opportunities there. See, and that would bring in the point that it would be nice down the road to have some type of community center like Lawrence does, that we could do that kind of thing in. Technically, that's what we're supposed to be able to do with Generations, but it's so small, compared to other things. I think they would be open to it, more so now, given the makeup of the board. I think there's going to be more participation in things. So, yeah, I mean, let's, some of the fire departments got together and put together a calendar that works off the Pennsylvania Daily Number, and it's a gun thing, and if you're into
Oh,
that.
I've seen that.
$35, and you have 365 chances, to win something. And that's, I mean, $35, that's a drop in the bucket,
And all the pet rescues do that. They all have calendars for the year that, so.
I think the current board would be open to that.
And the other thing is, like you said, like a spaghetti dinner or something, if we get people in here for these events, we might get more people interested in helping, even if they don't want to come on the board,
Yeah.
because we need volunteers,
Yeah, I will say Donna Sittler emailed me over the weekend and asked about the calendar. And I said we were going to, decide on it tonight. And she wants to put those dates on her calendar so she can be available. Now, do we want to extend an invitation for her to join the board? I mean, she's,
Can't. We've asked her many times. I think she has, because she is a vendor. Like she said, she doesn't want to be a board member. She just wants to help and just wants to know she's always willing to help if she can.
She's a vendor?
She helps, she does that,
Donna lives by me, right?
yeah.
Yeah, she's not a vendor.
Well, she does something that
helps somebody who is a vendor. I've
Right.
seen her at craft shows.
yeah, I don't know if it's a sister, mother, or somebody, but
Betsy or something.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's involved.
I
in-
remember that. I had something stuffed in my mailbox.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah,
It's her niece or something. Something like that.
She would be a great board member. I mean,
right.
I think it's her niece.
we could ask her again, but
Yeah,
we've asked her.
yeah, let's ask her again. I mean, I understand Jimmy's a little bit older. He's very resourceful. Rick,
He knows everybody.
he knows everybody. I mean, he is Cecil through and through, I mean, heck, he knew my mother, when he was born. She remembered, she was there when he was born, so. Rick lives outside of Cecil Township. That's why, that's what excludes him from being on the board.
That's right.
He will help out anytime. He said he loves being here, loves doing it. He's gonna have,
So you have to live in Cecil?
Yeah.
I was just advised of that.
I was gonna say, well, what's her name would never been able to join? Paula. Remember?
At that time, it was still shaky, but then we had somebody that was on the board move out of the township, and it was decided that that wasn't a good idea.
Oh, Mary Ann. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, well, I lobbied hard for Rick because of, just basically what he can do.
Yeah.
You know, and, he said, well, the township manager said, well, he lives outside of the, township. I'm like, okay, can't we make an exception? You know, I mean, we don't have a lot of people to choose from that can do what he does.
I could see if maybe it was even like a paid position, but it's not paid.
No,
Like, I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
What about Glenn? Would he ever consider coming back?
yeah,
I think maybe in a helpful capacity.
yeah, he loves to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be here every day
No.
for everything.
No, and I mean, you were around when the last board, you know, and I mean, he helped out as much as he could, and they did a lot of, they weren't as able as this board is, you know.
They
And
were
that-
all retired, right? I mean,
Yeah, they were pretty much, they had a lot of time, they just couldn't do the stuff that needed to be done, you know? So, it's like the opposites here. I think he would help out anytime, which, you know, I don't mind, you know, you wanna cook, please.
Well, he was, Fall Festival, he was
Yeah.
great.
he was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah, so, and I'm not sure how many years Arlene has. You know, I mean, she wants to help out as much as she can. I'm gonna let her, if it's okay with you guys.
Oh, she's fine.
Yeah, I
It
just,
keeps her active and stuff, that's no
She
problem.
loves coming and seeing everybody.
yeah. And she was one
just
of the,
sits there, she don't bother nobody, she just sits there and,
except when they bring a dog in the park, then all of a sudden, she's, you know, Arlene, the policewoman.
I'll have to bring mine in this year, let it run around.
Yeah, tie it next to your bike. So, anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off on that.
You're fine.
Okay. Okay, so, let me talk to her then, and we can put together some different ideas. I can look at the other parks and see what they're doing, and we'll
Yeah,
see.
can we do it when the weather's good, so we can attract the most people?
Yeah, I agree.
And, you know,
Maybe like early spring or something.
yeah, I mean, when, I can find out when Generations is open. Of course, people go for the pavilions when the weather's nice, so that means there's more flexibility in Generations. But given the new management over there, we have access to everything, you know. We can use the stoves, we can use the refrigerators, you know, everything, so.
Oh, management switched again?
Well, this is Kim. She comes to, I mean, she gets a booth every year at the Fall Festival. And she leaves the kitchen door open. She said, here, yeah, use this, you know. As long as we clean up afterwards, you know, that'd be ideal. I mean, one of the problems, I think, with the last one was they wanted the door locked, nobody touch anything, and, I guess somebody got in there and, you know, used it, and she had a meltdown, and they said, fine, you're done, you know, but, yeah, Kim's leagues away from the previous proprietor.
Oh, good, good. Okay, the first one of our events is the Easter egg hunt. Easter is early this year. So, as you know from the letter I sent out to everybody, I actually looked to see when the fishing dates were and when Easter was and all this stuff. So if we do the Easter egg hunt the week before Easter on 3/23, it does not interfere with anything with fishing, and we can go back to the 10 a.m. Now, Jack checked with Cecil Fire Department to see if they had selected a date yet for their breakfast, and they have not.
They have not. That should be later this month.
that's Saturday, 3/23?
Yeah.
And are we gonna, like, shorten it up a little bit?
Yes, I just put 10 a.m. I didn't put a time frame. because that way we can do our first group at 10, do the next group. I think originally when I used to put timeframes on it, it was like all within 2 hours. And for some reason, it went out as 3
Yeah, we can
hours
do
or
it,
some
I
more.
think, in
Yeah.
2.
So we're just going to say it starts at 10, and, you know, they'll be in groups, so. I mean, I think to really put the eggs out like they should be, how long do you think we need between, I mean, a group takes 5 minutes to gather the eggs.
Yeah,
It doesn't take that long to put them all out again. Like, we had the Boy Scouts, and we have somebody to help. Like, it doesn't take that long to scatter eggs.
what I would like to do is not have somebody just take the box out and just throw them out there, you know, haphazardly. You know, I'd like some, I don't know, semblance of order, if you would, or some, you know, a little bit more professional than just, you know, flinging a box of stuff out there. That doesn't take long at all, but it just, way back in the day when the Parks Board used to sit and actually fill those eggs, they would meet on the Friday night beforehand, and they would all stuff like 1,000 eggs. Then 3 or 4 of them would be down here early and hide the eggs all through the park. And I know that's not, you know, probably feasible now, but you know, it was a little bit better managed. Actually, one time I was over on the other side of the stream, and some guy and his family were walking off a Montour Trail. He saw an egg and picked it up, and I said, "Put it down." And he tried to. I said, "Put it down now," and he finally dropped it. You know, but
This past year?
no, this was when my sister was in
I could
charge.
tell you, like, 30 years ago when my kids were little, I stopped bringing them down here. I started my own Easter egg hunt on my farm because they just put all the eggs in one big pile, and it was just,
Oh yeah, when they moved it inside.
no,
Yeah,
it was outside. And it was awful.
Yeah.
And
Oh, is that when they did the circle thing and?
it was, I don't even know if it was, I think it may have even been in the tennis, you know, the tennis court area. It was,
that's right.
and it was just a big pile, and you had a whole bunch of big kids and little kids. I was like, that's it. Me and my neighbors decided to do it. So, I mean, I think the way we're doing it is really nice. I mean,
Yeah.
all the parents have said,
But they were thrown,
it and-
they were thrown, and the Boy Scouts will do what we ask them to do.
yeah, I thought they
They
did a
were
really good job.
following, so.
I don't know who was in charge the years my kids were little. It was like 30 years ago, but.
Yeah. Way back, what I'm talking about, I mean, they had them over on the other side of the stream. They had them strategically placed all throughout, and kids had to actually look for them, you know. But that was, I mean, that was early 2000s, so.
Okay, so we'll come back and visit the Easter egg hunt a little more. Fishing derby, is 427 good?
Is Dan
Yep.
gonna do it?
No.
No.
Yeah, I mean, as far as,
I don't know what the hell what to do with it, but
all right, I mean, we're gonna see what range gives us this year. All right, chances are they're gonna sponsor that again, because they like that event. I'm gonna contact the fishery in due time, because this is gonna be stocked 3 times this year, all right? And then we're gonna put fish in it. Now, they've finished the, whatever they did out there, the widening, deepening, you know, sloping, you know, they did everything. So now it's just more of a waiting period. I have the contact information from the Game Commission, and the guy comes out every year. So it's just getting that ball rolling. And that's really all he really did, other than bring his friends in to help stock. And that's when we're gonna need a bunch of extra hands. That's when Rick and Jim and.
Got some prizes.
Yeah, prizes are gonna be, you know, I'm gonna need some help with those, as far as, you know, who to go to, who to ask for, what to say, that type of thing. I've never done that before. So, and, you know, if we have to buy some, then we can limit them. Not everybody's gonna get a prize, you know, so,
it should be.
yeah. But I think Wendy has the dates for the mentoring and for opening day. Mentoring is usually the day before opening day, or the week before. So, you know, I'm not sure what I gave you already. as far as days.
Yeah.
I do have a neighbor who said if he wanted to volunteer for mentoring, he might volunteer for the fishing.
That'd be
tournament.
great.
Oh, that'd be great, yeah, that'd be great.
This date on here right now is not even close to mentoring either. I had them in that email, the mentoring date and the opening day,
So he doesn't have to do anything special to volunteer, right? Like he can just.
No.
come along. Okay.
just so long as we know he's coming. Okay, Touch a Truck, traditionally, it's the same weekend, I put it on here, 5/11. Jason has indicated that he wants to get some additionals this year and actually keep our 11 to 2 timeframe. Is everybody good for that?
Well, like I said, well, Jack knows, it's all depending on, whether funds are there to do it. But for the Optimus Prime, the guy, people who don't know, he built an actual, only one in the world, it's an actual full-blown, scale to size Optimus Prime tractor trailer.
Wow.
And I've been talking to him for a few months now. It's ballpark is gonna be like $2,500 because you got to pay per diem. Then I got to get an area for him to stick the truck in the night before. Maybe Old Public Works or a fire station. And he cleans it, details it, and then he brings it out. And then I'm working with him on what he would do when he's actually here. Like a lot of school events, he does, you know, like no bullying, that kind of stuff, messages. Or he'll talk to people as they come up to the truck. But I think it'd be a really cool. South Fayette had it. I actually saw it on Facebook or something. South Fayette did it a year or so ago. I'm like, oh, no kidding. So I started looking this guy up, and I started emailing him back and forth.
What's
And
it called, Jason?
it's let me see.
Say Optimus Prime or something?
Yeah, it's a transformer. It's that full blown. Seriously? You have boys.
Yeah, boys, you know.
My boys are 30.
Transformers, they're,
I know what transformers are.
Yeah.
It's a transformer? Okay.
Yeah. Well, if we leave it 11
His
to
name's
2,
Joe.
and there are,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay.
My thing is keeping it extended. If we do pay that,
yeah, I agree.
I don't want them to come for 2 hours. Okay, see you later.
Yeah,
You know, I like to get our money, get some money out of it.
yeah,
Well, if we leave it 11 to 2, I mean, and we don't get anywhere, people aren't coming at that point, those that are here, leave. I mean, it's worked before,
Yeah,
so.
I think if he's here, I think people are going to stay.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a nice day, hopefully, they'll be coming packed to come see him.
Okay.
But it all depends.
yeah. Let's take a step back. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I think it's a good idea. What I need to be concerned with is if we pay for one and everybody else is coming in for free, how is that going to make them feel? You know, how is that, you know what I mean? Unless we put that up in the big parking lot, up near the tennis courts and have everybody else down here. So that's like an event that people would need to get through and of course, past the concession stand, just throwing that out there. You know, and, you know, have that like a destination, you know, where only this is.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to have him showcase somewhere.
Yeah,
That, or whether it's in the ball field, we probably can't because the helicopter probably, right?
well, the helicopter could go in the outfield. We could come around the back side and bring it over by the stage if there's enough room there. See, I'm not sure how big of an area this needs.
I forget, I'd look through the emails.
Could it be right in front of the concession stand? Is there enough blacktop there to do it right in front of the concession stand? As like
It's a full-blown sleeper,
well, that's what I'm saying. I
it's a
mean,
big truck.
I understand. I mean, I'm asking because I don't know.
I mean, you probably could could it fit solely on the blacktop front? Probably not.
Okay,
You'd probably have to push it somewhat into the grass, some on the side, on the blacktop.
okay,
You could probably do that.
okay,
But I think having it solely on a blacktop would probably be way too close to it, I think.
okay. All right.
Did South Fayette, like when they had it, do we have pictures or something we could look at?
I
and kinda guess?
I could find a video. It was something, their touch truck event I saw on Facebook or something. And they show him pulling in and all that stuff. And
I imagine a lot of it has to do with the way you advertise it too, that like this is something big and special, you know?
We
Yeah.
could tell from the video, like how
Yeah.
big it is, and
Yeah, but there's certain, I think he needs like a 30 by 30, there's certain stipulations he all has
Okay,
for his truck.
okay.
But you got into a little bit of it, but I didn't want to get anything, waste anybody's time until I knew, first off, how to have a date. Because you can't hold dates.
Right.
So that's why I was asking about the date. Then if we're okay with it, then he'll actually send me a full-blown proposal.
Okay.
But he requires one night of hotel. I can get him a room probably at Hilton South Point. Got another girl that runs all that. Instead of us, because it's either out or he books his own room. I could probably get a cheaper deal, save a couple bucks doing it that way.
Yeah. Well, if you could, find that and share it with us so everybody can see, that'd be great,
Okay.
okay? Okay, go ahead.
We go back, Mentor Days is March 25th. And then I'm assuming the opening day is the following week, so that would be like April 1st.
I'd have to look at I thought I had April 6th in that email.
Okay. Because I just pulled up Mentoring Day. I think moving it,
Because we could move it up if everybody wanted to.
okay, statewide. Saturday, March 26th, okay?
Yeah.
And then opening day is, well, wait a minute, that's,
Youth Mentor Day is March 30th, opening day is April 6th.
okay. It's just, look at that, that's still, it's from 2022. And when did you say you wanted to do fishing derby?
The historical, doing the same weekend we just did, would be 4/27.
Okay.
But we don't have to we could always move it up since we have all this open time frame.
Well, I mean, with Touch a Truck right around the corner,
Yeah.
What I don't want,
Yeah, that was a problem too.
when is Easter?
The week after the Easter egg hunt date. So it'd be 3:30,
3/31.
3:31. So if we want to put another week between the fishing derby and the touch a truck, we can do that.
what I'm most concerned about is people get enough time between events. I don't ever want to do 2 years ago Fall Festival where it was just back to back and people were so fried by trailer treats that.
Yeah.
And I understand it's not we're actually comparing apples and oranges, but I just want to make sure there's enough wiggle room for everybody. I think later in April is better than clustering it around April 1st.
So,
Because there again, I don't wanna get caught, with people coming down here, especially with the new spread that they have over here. If they stop that, they've got it so that vegetation is gonna be growing specifically for the fish, right at the edge, so, they're making it a,
Fish getaway.
yeah. And those 8 holes that we've been, targeting, I think are gonna be a lot, they're gonna be sought after, which means we have to watch the back end. That's something, we can do at a later time. But I just think that there's gonna be a lot of fishing going on. And if we keep it later in April, then they'll get those first couple stockings so that the fish we put in there will be there just for the derby, and then whatever is up there will be there for whomever.
Wasn't there comments last year made that the fish weren't really biting?
Yeah,
They hadn't acclimated.
Well, that's exactly.
Yeah, they were
So-
put in too quick.
I thought that was this past year.
No, 2 years
started
ago.
on Friday for Saturday. So they had 24-hour period that those
Okay,
fish.
so it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Okay,
They
I
weren't moving.
remember that, and it was, and I said something, and I was like, oh, no, but I mean, I had gigantic aquatic fish tanks over the years.
Yeah,
Like, I love fish. They can't just throw them in the pond and think they're gonna bite on the hook.
right.
They need time to acclimate, so,
That's why we brought them in on Friday.
yeah, okay, they have a whole, overnight and everything, yeah, okay. For some reason, I thought it was last year, sorry.
Last year, I thought they brought them in that morning.
Last year,
No, last year was the night before, because somebody had to
Was it?
guard them, right?
Oh.
Or like, to make sure nobody was,
Okay.
it was 2 years ago, though. I remember kids were like hitting
Yeah.
the fish on top of the head and they weren't biting. And,
Okay.
Yeah, they're in shock still.
yeah.
So are we sticking with the 27th, or do we want to do 4/20 and have a little bit more time frame between that and Touch a Truck?
I think
I don't
Jack's
care.
more toward later, right?
Later's probably better for like the grass and,
it's the weather. Yeah.
Especially with it all
Well,
being new?
keep in mind now, because all they have down there is grass mats right now.
Yeah,
There's no grass. They tore it all up. They put, do they seed it at all?
they have not seeded.
Yeah, because it ain't gonna grow anyways.
So we should stick with 4/27?
Let's do that because of, more because of exactly what you just said. I have no idea what this is gonna look like. You know,
It could turn into a mud bath back
Yeah.
there.
I mean, the biggest fear of Rick right now is sliding off the hill with that zero. Because there's no levels anymore, it slopes, you know? Granted, they're not worried about water, they're more worried about the fish, all right? So if this place ever floods, it's gonna flood, you know? Because they've taken that much out, you know, in some of those areas. When you get a chance, walk up.
So they actually lowered the sidewalls.
Some of them, yeah.
and there's like hay and, I mean, I've seen it from the trail.
Well, yeah, they put down grass mats, to try to hold the hillside back and stuff, but there's no vegetation growing. That hillside's gonna, whoop.
It looks deeper. I mean, it looks, I
There
mean,
are
there's more
spots that
water.
are, yeah, there are
It
spots
is,
that are.
it is, and they put timbers along the side, and like I said, they're growing, if they haven't planted it yet, they're going to plant a certain type of vegetation that fish, you know, use, and, it's really conducive for fishing, they're not the least bit worried about flooding, they're all about fishing, so, it's gonna be nice when it,
matures.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we're sticking with that date. First movie in the park on June 8th. Now, we could go a week later with that. Well, actually, let's make our next decision. Do we want to continue with Community Day or not?
I think we need to have board members to do that.
I agree with that.
We
And
have them, we
volunteers.
can do it. I don't think the five of us can do it by ourselves.
Can
'cause
we
if
move
one-
ahead without advertising that and then see what happens? Okay, that's what we'll do then. If everybody's agreed to that?
Yeah, because
Well,
if
what-
one person doesn't come and then,
Well, once again, it is the magical weekend of the year. Me and my kid's birthday. I will not be here. I will have his birthday party and everything. I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah.
So I say it every year. So I haven't actually ever seen it. Is it worth continuing?
I mean, it was.
I'm
kicked out
asking,
of class.
I'm asking you guys. Do you get the
I
turnout?
wasn't here last year.
Oh, what the
we
hell,
had a
Wendy?
fantastic turnout.
Slacker. So is there,
It was fantastic.
Was it?
But,
They
Yeah,
had that kids market.
we had the kids market, we had all the slides and
was
the,
the kid market worth the money?
We didn't pay for it.
I thought we paid for part of some of it.
No.
no, they set up and people came just to sponsor them.
I
It was
thought we
a
had to pay
cool
for
thing.
something.
And see, that was part of the attraction was when you have kids, you've got parents, and the parents came in, and that was a great idea. I think the bounce houses, the water slide, that worked. We brought the water in for the dunk tank, you know, I think that worked. The people just didn't come, and there was, I don't know if that was an advertising issue or what it was. Arden has found some avenues about putting those flyers on pizza boxes going through GM
Yeah.
counties. That seems to work exceptionally well. We have the opportunity to publish a pamphlet with Washington County,
Oh, yeah.
you know, $260 for,
Tourism.
let's see, they can be a flyer, they can be a pamphlet
pamphlet or something, in over 100 locations, around Washington County. Question is, do we want to do that? Because now we're inviting people, outside of the community. So, I mean, we need some way to get the word out to the community other than Facebook, other than our website.
If only we had a sign in front of our building.
When Muse Elementary did the blast
Yeah.
for the thing,
Even Amy commented on that. She
I
said,
got
yeah.
40 people signed up just from that.
Yes.
Yeah, there was an increase, a significant increase at that point. That's another avenue.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
I can even, Ron down at DeFelice's, he'd probably put stuff out for me with his meals.
Probably because his mother used to work there.
And I probably did not get things posted on Facebook as much either because I was right in the middle of the fundraiser for the fire victims.
And you know what,
That was the same
we're
day.
not looking to,
That's why you weren't, okay.
all we're looking for is ways to get the word out.
Yep.
How do we get that word in somebody's ear other than Facebook, other than the website, other than little flyers on pizza boxes and the blast? That blast is a great idea.
Yeah, that was, and Community Day, like the three things we talked about two things, Touch a Truck and Fall Festival, but it also doesn't bother me to advertise Community Day in that, because even though Cecil's our community, I think I'm all for people coming, I mean, I don't know what you guys feel about it,
But
but
from
I don't,
outside of Cecil,
yeah.
I don't really have an issue with it. I really don't.
I mean, it's not like the Easter egg hunt where we're actually having to supply something to everybody or Trail of Treats where, we need to have an idea, so.
The cornhole contests, right? That was Community Day.
Pie contest.
The pie eating, yeah.
I mean, if you want to, I mean, you can
Pie
table it
taste.
for
Pie
now.
tasting contest,
Table it for
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
See, just for, we can regroup in a few months and see what we feel like.
Let's plan on what Community Day should look like, What is it we want to do? Pull the community together. I mean, are we talking like the old days where, they did a lot of like small town community things? We had the tug of war that we had talked about,
And they didn't do any of that this last year, right?
picnic type things, or do we want to have booths? Do we want to have food trucks? Kind of similar to the Fall Festival. We don't want to overlap with the Fall Festival, but what's the outcome? Let's start with the end in mind and say, what do we want to accomplish with Community Day that's separated from the Fall Festival? Because we all know we can do a Fall Festival.
Yeah.
Right? We've been very successful in the last 5 years. Question is, what do we want Community Day to be, and what do you want people to walk away from Community Day with?
Okay. Once again, I keep making copies of everything I see for the other parks as well, so let me look at that. I do move that we move it up a week to the 13th.
I think it's a great idea. It should be middle July.
Damn you. I gotta come now? God,
Just for you, Jason.
ruined my whole month.
Arden misses you so much. When you
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah, make sure he's not on vacation.
Yeah.
That's one of 6 vacations.
Definitely need to have enough people to do that. Like, we were stretched then.
Personally, like Jack, you said, but I would try to, if we're gonna do something for Community Day, do things out of the box that aren't gonna be around the Fall Festival.
I agree.
And that goes for the bounce houses.
Well,
To me.
I like the water thing.
The
'cause
water
we don't
thing's
have
fine,
that, yeah.
but like, we have bounce house, like, we're kinda get bounce house, get bounce house out here.
No, we want water things. We want the little pools and we want,
Yeah, I mean, I was,
yeah.
that's just me.
No, I agree with you. We don't want to repeat. what we're
Try to
doing
get
for Fall
something, yeah,
Festival.
try to get something new and
Okay.
I mean, on it, like you said, more community based.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, if you want to do it like the old fashioned, I mean, we seem to be going that old fashioned route, then we could set up a bunch of things for a limited period of time to give to everybody that flavor. So they walk away saying, boy, that was a good Community Day, as opposed to, what's the difference between this and the Fall Festival?
I think we would have had more people doing the cornhole thing too, because they didn't know about it. A lot of people didn't know about it.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not pointing any fingers on that. I mean,
everybody needs to, take a piece of that. The question is, how do we beat that this year? The same people win all the time. All right, so we've got to get some people in that are good at it. We got to find those people that want to come out.
And one way is to have better prizes too.
Yeah, we have time, and now that we've decided how we're gonna, cover
What, for
that,
cornhole?
yeah, I mean, $100 is nice, and everything, but we gotta make it a little bit.
Doesn't bring them out.
Yeah, make it a little bit.
Really?
I think more kids would, if teenagers would
it's
have known
Well,
about
you
it, they
actually
would've
could
come. I
have-
would have come for $100.
You
if
could
I
have an
was a
adult
kid.
version and you could have a kid's version,
Yeah.
you know?
$100 is.
I
good price.
almost picked up a volleyball set I saw inexpensively. Like, I don't think, we didn't have any of the oversized games out that I know of because
Yeah, we had a couple. Didn't we have the big Jenga and we had the big?
that was the year
Connect
before.
Four?
They were left sitting on my niece's porch because nobody picked them up.
Okay, I mean, we had a lot of games
Oh,
going.
this past year, really?
We had a lot of games going. There was a lot of stuff going on and,
That was the year before though.
no, last year.
What'd you
I was
have
there.
last year?
I mean, I was down at the bounce houses, it seems like a lot of times, and I was also at the water thing a lot. But we had we had like the hula hoops, and we had Stephanie brought a bunch of stuff.
Were the hula hoops out and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, and we have those.
had a big Jenga.
Yeah, those
Stephanie
we
had
have.
a big Jenga or a big Connect Four.
That was the year before.
I don't remember that much.
'Cause they
I
were
remember the hula
mine.
hoops and the chalk and
Yeah.
bubbles and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I made the hopscotch board on the one.
That was 2 years ago, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
last year, I mean, that was busy last year. We had a lot more people than the year before. Yeah.
There was as many last year as there was a year.
Because I remember Dan couldn't leave the dunk booth, like he wanted to, but he was,
Last
we
year,
didn't have enough people, yeah,
2
to
years
help.
ago, he couldn't leave the dump booth.
And last year.
He was hardly ever around that dump booth. I was there once it filled up, but we had it positioned differently. The year before.
Because we got him special water last year, because remember all the thing about
goodness.
getting the clean water and not getting the fire truck water that was
Yeah.
sitting in the truck for a
I had no
year.
guarantees on the fire truck water. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay, they were trying to help us out. All right, so
And it
we'll,
was a good event, but Stephanie put a lot into that.
Yeah.
Like without her,
oh, she did. So we'll table it, figure on the 13th if we have it. I can get hold of the children's thing and have them put it down tentatively while we come up with a plan. How, does that sound good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Cruising Classics, we think will be 8/18. That hasn't been confirmed with Norb yet. Movie in the Park, I moved it up a week, so, wait. I moved it back a week, because last year we had it the night before Cruising Classics, so we were here 2 days in a row. So I moved the second movie back a week. Of course, Fall Festival is locked in dates. Trail Treats is the week before Halloween. And then Simply Christmas, Old Fashioned Christmas is the 6th and 7th. So we talked about moving this to the 8th, because we would lose Arden if we had it on the 7th.
My daughter dances at Cannonsburg too, so I'd be
Yeah,
going for a
that's true,
portion of
too.
that as well.
The other thing is, I was kind of wondering if we wouldn't even get more participation if we did it on Sunday. Because I think Saturday, there's so many things going on, you know, parties, maybe, stuff like that kids are doing, people are out shopping. Whereas Sunday, you know, if it's been a long week, they're more likely to, so, I don't know, had that thought. I mean, is everybody good with Sunday instead?
I'm fine with Sunday. I'm just wondering the same weekend, like if people go to the Cannonsburg on Saturday, are they gonna come to ours on Sunday?
I don't think I would stop them. I don't think.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't stop us.
okay. Yeah, we definitely don't wanna do it the same day that they
Yeah.
are having theirs.
We don't want to lose Arden.
I think we can coordinate with Venice Presbyterian Church a little bit better
Yeah.
this year. The ladies that came down, admittedly so, had an agenda. And I talked to the coordinator up at Venice UP and just said, you know, I don't want to offend anybody, but there's certain things we can do and certain things we can't do. And for, you know, my understanding was they were coming to help when they wanted to kind of guide the whole whole thing, and she said that that was not the intention. But we decided to drop their participation this year because it was our first year. But with time, I think we can coordinate something that'll work, be beneficial for both of us. No, we're not going to put a nativity scene out there because we can't. But we can do other things, and that's where the creativity and understanding on both sides of what a public building can and cannot do, I think will pay everybody dividends. So if we include them, if we keep them in the loop, they just want to help out. They don't want to run anything, they just want to help us. So there's additional support for, from the community.
Okay, Jack, can you go ahead and get the whole building force on 12/8?
You want generations, right? Yes, I'll get generations tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we want to be able to spread it out more and have,
If we just did one thing, they did breakfast, and after breakfast, the rolling movie thing was a great idea.
yeah.
And I was surprised that people just sat here for the entire
Did they?
it was me, I had to watch the movie, do my thing and leave, but people came and they just stayed, and the kids just ran
Yeah, they
around and
stayed the
played, and
whole
the
time.
parents just kind of hung.
I
and they
thought the
stayed.
tree looked great, too.
Just took it down today.
Yeah.
And so,
Those
I think our
ornaments you
windows,
found?
I think they were too long, and then the second one didn't have as big a turnout. Like, we just did it once, they could get their breakfast and do that, then roll over here, the movie can be rolling, they can do their craft, stay as long as they want. I mean, that's just another idea, but
Yeah, yeah, I agree, to have a breakfast thing, then roll over here, watch a little movie or something.
do the craft,
And
do the
then
movie, and they
skedaddle.
go, right. And just do
And
a one event instead of the two.
I realize I wasn't here again, but from what I saw and everything, I liked the idea that it was inside, that we weren't doing something outside in the cold,
The weather would be so nice, if that was what we were
Yeah, but
gambling
you
with,
can't-
and
yeah,
you
you
didn't
can't
know,
count
I
on
mean,
that
it
every
could have
year.
been 10 degrees out there.
Okay.
Whole families came in, it seemed like the whole family, like.
So if they wanted to help, that would be good. If we are doing two things, the breakfast, because that would just be a rolling traffic, that would be good with extra hands
Yeah, and,
to do that.
if you want Santa Claus again, it doesn't have to be me, I mean, it could be somebody else if you have.
But you do such a good job.
You enjoy it so much, Jack, it's just, your face just just eludes happiness.
Balloon arch again. As nice as that looked, that was hard.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, Lawrence Fire
balloon
Department
arch.
appreciated it.
I had an eye, I
You
couldn't put my
did,
contacts in
but
for 2 days.
I got infected and everything. It was just a lot
All
of
the
work. I mean, it
latex.
was neat.
It looked beautiful, though.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah, it looked beautiful. Okay, so what we really have to focus on is the Easter egg hunt. So, last year we went with the Russell Stover eggs because it cost us more. But the plastic eggs, like you get one tiny little Tootsie Roll in them and stuff like that. Now, another option we could have is actually getting, Reese's puts out Easter candy now, like everybody has
You actually
bags
put
now.
yeah. I wasn't on the board yet because somebody
Yeah.
didn't approve me in time.
Ooh,
Sounds like Jack.
Was it, were they actual chocolate eggs that you put out, or what are the rest?
yeah, it
They
was
were like the
actually,
wrapped ones.
Okay.
Russell Stover's is like Sarah's, only less expensive.
It's not even close. No, you can't go there. It ain't the same quality.
No, it's not the same quality.
But yeah, it's just
But
like
it was
those
a
wrapped.
step up from the plastic eggs.
Yeah, it's just like those wrapped like Reese eggs. You
Roll
see 'em.
full,
Yeah,
So,
but they come in 35,000 different flavors. Then you got to try to segregate them, and the labels are so darn close in color, you forget what you got.
yeah.
But
They
beside the
spend a
point.
lot of time sorting eggs, so. So, what do we want to do? What's everybody's thought this year?
That was fine, that worked great, the eggs.
Do you want to go the
eggs
Russell
are actually
Stover,
cheaper
or do you
than,
want me to compare Russell Stover to getting like Hershey's and all those things?
If it was me, I would probably say a variety of different types of, like you said, Reese's and so forth.
Yeah, because we
Instead
could
of all
get some
just
Russell
Russell
Stover and
Stovers.
some,
Because I mean, to me, I don't think it's that great. That's just me being, I guess, a candy snob. But and they're not cheap.
no.
So
They were about 50 cents each or something, 45 cents each?
Twice as much as we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
yes, I mean, if it was me, I would look for, like you said, the Reese eggs, Cadbury cream eggs, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
We can get prices.
Ooh.
So this year, I put in 5,000 just for the Easter egg hunt. So that should cover it if we fluctuation, then it's not gonna be as, as significant as was, last year.
And even though we're all Saracen snobs, the kids will eat the Hershey's and all that.
Oh, I'll eat the Hershey's and stuff.
Yeah,
As long as it's not like cheap
yeah.
crap. 'Cause if it's
Well,
for-
the other thing too is maybe Jason could get Saracens to donate some, and then we can mix it in with all the others.
My only thing with them, I come to find out, is they don't like to give anything but freaking pretzels.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the
Well-
cheapest, it's the cheapest of the thing. And I appreciate what they do, because they have been,
agree.
And they did send their,
Yes.
they did.
That was very nice.
Frankie or whatever. his
Because
name
I did, the past couple of Easter egg hunts, I did ask if they could give eggs. We all know their eggs aren't cheap.
Yeah,
So,
nothing's cheap now.
no, but I mean, the pretzels, cost effective wise, they can write that check off much easier. I get that.
And even though Canonsburg has them, I think Canonsburg Fire Department pays for them. Now, matter of fact, I know they do. They do get a discounted price, but they pay for them.
Oh, they probably do.
Yeah.
And they have a thing where you can go online, we can go and ask,
Yeah. Yeah, they did give me a discounted price one year, but it was still out of our budget. So
What,
now
for
that we have a
eggs?
budget, now that we have a budget, we can actually check and see.
Okay, if you,
Again.
I'll handle that.
Great, okay.
Just remind them that Frank Sarah started in Cecil.
Did he?
High school is my mother. It's Cecil High School, so tell them, don't forget where he started.
Okay,
They're gonna go, Jack, you have a credit card, please? Thank you.
yeah.
What's the expiration date?
Yeah.
So Billy Ann was actually here for the fishing derby,
Yes.
not for the Easter egg hunt.
Correct.
But we had it on last year to ask her about the Easter egg hunt, but we didn't. She was here for the fishing derby.
But she came in guns blazing, and it was like, we don't know what's gonna happen. I figured with all these people supposed to be coming for, fishing according to our outgoing public works director, and that's the main reason that I adjusted it. I was told, don't schedule anything in the morning. I'm like, well, why? They said, because you'll never get a parking place. Okay, we all know what happened,
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah, parking would have been fine, but,
Well, at certain times.
It started, Didn't it start raining? Started getting crappy
It started
later in the day.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it was beautiful in the morning.
Um,
But we'll move on from it.
So what are you saying?
Do you want to talk to Billy Ann and see what her thoughts are for what she wants to do this year? We know she's going to want to do the fall festival, right? We know that.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah,
She made,
made
she made a killing.
with her tent, I mean, can you imagine what she's gonna do if she took over the concession stand?
Yeah.
Which is
But-
fine. Good for her, I'm happy.
Oh, yeah, of course. But do we want to lose the cassette stand?
That's one of the only money makers we have.
Cause we made what, 5,500 last year?
Yeah. And we kept Cruising Classics too, because that's the only thing we have to do for that. So,
Do we, I mean, like, we don't need Billy Ann's for Easter, do we?
no, we didn't have anything on, and it goes so quick. I mean, literally, people could be here and gone in an hour and a half if we plan it right. So, and then the fishing derby, opening day or mentor day is not the same day as our fishing derby, so I don't think either one of them need any. Does anybody disagree?
Needed what?
Like outside handling of the concession stand?
No.
Oh, outside, no. No, I don't think, I mean, the most we're gonna do is what we normally do.
Yeah.
We had all those I had all those volunteers doing that bake sale
You said for
stuff, and we ended up
Community Day,
giving so
Wendy?
much of it away.
You said
It was
for
kind of a
Community Day?
waste. Did we make any
That's what you
money on
said?
the bake sale?
No, for the Easter.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I think that's one of the problems we had with, docks is, the contribution versus, so, to my knowledge, we made about $250.
I mean, that was hardly worth it. I mean, I remember begging, I mean, I got like a lot of friends to donate like some beautiful stuff, and we ended up giving away so much of it. Like, we didn't really sell a whole lot at the bake sale. 'Cause kids were like running around getting candy. They weren't really interested in the bake. I don't know.
The kids ain't coming to buy a pie.
No.
So do you even want to do a bake sale?
It was good the first year we did it, and it was extremely well handled. Stephanie handled it, and it seemed to go fine. I don't know what happened last year. I
Well, one thing, the weather went bad, so it wasn't even sitting out as far as it was the first year. The first year it was right out there for everybody to see it. It was kind of up against the thing because it was raining. So,
Remember, we just gave a lot of the stuff to the volunteers.
yeah.
A lot of it to the volunteers.
I mean, I'm good with not doing it and rethinking
We had a
maybe
whole
some.
table full of stuff.
Yeah.
Sitting there.
And also, we spread it out to the 3 hours, and now we're looking at, not going that long. So that's another reason why I don't think it would, I mean, I'm fine with not doing it.
I don't really think it was worth it.
Is it worth the aggravation? And is the return coming back worth it? Like how much are you actually selling?
Yeah.
Is it really worth the headache?
I don't think so.
I mean, I remember last return around, we had a table full this high, just stacked full of baked goods.
Yeah, we just gave it to the volunteers at the end.
Yeah, and really, during the fishing derby, well, the kids were only worried about what they want,
The young kid don't care about a bake sale.
Yeah, honestly-
They don't care.
What we, what we should just do is have our donation containers out.
Yep.
And I would still at some point like to get like one that locks, like that we could actually put in the ground, like maybe at the corner when they come in, but it locks. So, people could put money down in it.
You could actually put one actually, on a metal pole, actually, in the pavement right there, concreted in.
Where do you think?
Even by the concession stand somewhere. Like an actual donation block, you've seen them. This one was like a birdhouse. And they concrete them right in the ground.
What I'd like to do is put it in between those windows on the concession stand.
Or another thing, you can mount it on a cassette. Only thing I think mounted on there is just wood.
Yeah,
Somebody can come by and rip it right off the building.
yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see one at each end of the park.
Oh, yeah, I'm not against it. I'm just saying, I thought of that, but then I also thought about some kids are
you're
gonna get a
right.
bat or something and beat it off the wall. You know what I mean?
Somebody's gonna try to,
Well, with the vandalism we had last year, I don't put anything past anybody.
Yeah.
The tagging, the windows, the mirrors in the bathrooms, the toilets in the bathroom, we get the complaints, we have stainless steel toilets. Yeah, well, it's easier, it's better than replacing the porcelain every 3 or 4 weeks. Some kid took a bath with it, Yeah, I mean, if they weld that box onto a post and have a lock on it,
I mean, they make them where they're like 6-gauge steel.
yeah.
I mean, they're made to be secure, and they're on a steel post that goes in the ground. You concrete it.
As soon as we put cameras in that park, which is on the agenda, I'm not saying this year, but as soon as we have 24/7 monitoring, you watch the vandalism go
Oh, yeah.
real fast.
So we'll be set by 2035.
Yeah.
that's when the sign will be
We'll
up
be
there
set.
too.
Come visit me up at Venice Presbyterian Cemetery.
I'll beat you there. Well, I won't be in that cemetery, though. Okay, I'll take care of getting hold of the Boy Scouts.
Okay.
Prizes.
Oh, Jack, I'll help you figure something out.
I'm not exactly sure what Dan did, but I know he went to Dick's and he went to, and said, I'll do that.
Did they donate them?
Some.
Some
That
things, yes.
Orvis, that
Did they?
And that fishing place, what's the fish?
Orvis, I think it's
Yeah,
at,
Orvis.
Where in the hell's that at?
it is in Galleria. They were. I don't know if they're still there. I don't know how they stay in business.
Over in
in
South Hills.
Galleria. Yeah,
Yeah,
Galleria.
Over down by Bravo, not in the actual
Yeah.
Galleria?
It was there. I mean.
Okay.
And then also, I think that Sportsman's Place that's out of
Sports Warehouse.
Robinson,
Sportsman's Warehouse.
yeah,
He got some stuff from there.
There's one in Washington, too.
yeah.
I am near the one in, Robinson a lot. Like, I have the doctor's office I go to that's like right there. That I can stop in there.
Okay, if you guys take care of that, Heather and Bard, can you help me with the Easter egg hunt prizes? Now, basically, and I mean, you guys can too, if you walk in a restaurant around that time or a fast food place, ask them to donate a gift card. Usually they will. And
Yeah.
that's how I get everything I get.
Do we have anything that, if we go in and introduce ourselves, like,
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
hold
you
on.
never
I'll
mind
just
business
pause,
cards,
wait a
did you?
second.
Rec card.
Hold on.
okay,
Do you have any more of those cards?
Heather never got any. The
Cecil Parks and Rec cars we got.
Oh, the business card.
Yeah,
I gave them all out, but I can give another round printed.
yeah, could you?
Yeah, cause I actually need some too.
Places and identify yourself, how do they know I'm not?
And I can also give you a letter. I can also give you a letter, too.
Right. 'Cause I'd be happy to solicit businesses, but if I just walk in.
Hi,
course,
I want something free, yeah.
everybody I hit is over on my side of town, so. Yeah, Jack, if you would do that, and then I'll get a letter written up.
Is I'll get you a supply, and then supply for the other two that are coming on board.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know how many I know Arden hands them out like Tic Tacs. He thinks he's running for governor. So,
Does everybody want 100?
that'll be fine,
100, okay?
yeah.
All right.
yeah.
And if you want to get 50, I'll keep the other 50 in my office, and whenever you need them, they'll be there.
That'll work. Okay, so Jack's gonna get hold of is there anything else on the Easter egg hunt? Because it's the first event.
Well, Arden's gotta be the bunny.
So what?
Yeah.
Do we need
Easter, so they do the Easter egg hunt.
the
and then
flowers and stuff like that by the bunny?
The Easter
Is
bunny
that,
is kind
um,
of in the
is
front,
that
like while
Bednar's?
they're
they
in
do it
line.
outside.
Yeah. And the Easter
Who got the
Bunny's
flowers by the,
stage.
by the Easter bunny last? Who got that?
I did.
Okay.
I bring my bench that's falling apart.
Can I start a donation jar for you to get you a new chair?
That's the only reason I keep that stupid bench. It's in my garage. I
It's
don't,
gonna be an insurance liability. That
Is
metal,
it that bad?
oh, that
that dowel roll is decorative. That's not,
a dowel rod, it's like hanging like, help, and you just gotta stick it back up in there, and you pick it up and it's right back on the ground again.
you bring your bench, Jason.
I don't have, well, I have a metal one.
Exactly. That's why I end up bringing it, because nobody else gets one.
And how do the kids get prizes, like if they find a certain?
We put a
egg
number on
or-
the eggs. Some of the eggs have a number on the bottom, and if they pick,
Golden eggs or something?
Yeah, we had
no,
gold
we
couple.
didn't do golden. We put, because golden makes it obvious.
Oh,
So we just put a number on the bottom of eggs, and they got mixed in with all the eggs, and they have to look. Now, one thing we have to do is make them understand that more, because they wouldn't use the megaphone last year, so half the people didn't hear. So a lot of people left without their prizes because they didn't realize.
I thought we did have golden eggs.
No, that was the year before,
Okay,
when we had the plastic ones.
okay.
Do we
Yeah,
have any
that's right.
contacts at Grandpa Joe's? Do they do anything?
Grandpa Joe's did donate.
They do for the Easter egg hunt. Well, for the Easter egg hunt, they gave us a prize.
Okay.
That's good.
We made little
Yeah,
bags too, to
But-
give out.
yeah, we made little bags.
You get a lot of kids for this, don't you?
Yes.
Except for last year, we had a lot no show up because once again, the weather went
Weather was
foul.
bad, right?
Yeah,
And then-
which is always a danger.
And hardly ever at the end. Like, it's more in the beginning, and then we're waiting around. That's why we're gonna shorten it up, because the last hour is always kind of dry.
Well, that's the trail treats. Well, the Easter egg hunt too, because
Easter
there
hunt,
was
too.
no reason for it to be drug out like it was. I don't even know how that happened. So, but yeah, like over in Lawrence, I mean, over to McMurray, I go to, Sky Zone, I go to, Lilliput Playhouses, I hit up all those places over there and get stuff from them, so. Like I said, you just walk in and ask them, and if they say no, you say, okay, thanks, candy stores, yeah.
Start shaking them down.
Yeah. Okay, so fishing derby. So Jack's gonna get in touch with the Fish Commission.
Yeah, I left one message for the guy that always comes out. I haven't heard back from him yet, but he's been here every year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been very helpful.
And then I'm gonna get in touch with the fishermen, make sure that, they have we're gonna do it, if it's okay, we're gonna do it the day before like we did last time.
Okay. We have to remember to get it out there and advertise that the fishing in the park will be closed during the fishing derby, the morning of, until the kids are done. Sponsors are gonna depend on the people getting back to us after the letter goes out. And then prizes, you guys will work on those. And if I'm anywhere, where they might throw in something for the fishing derby, I'll ask. I've never been afraid to get a no. So anything else on the fishing derby? Okay,
Jason, you're gonna go to the Orvis place, or who's gonna go to the Orvis? I'm gonna go to the Sportsman's Warehouse.
Well, where's Orbis at? I don't know where.
the Galleria.
It's in the
Oh,
gallery.
I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, I can go. Is Orbis?
O-R-V-U-S.
O-R-V-I-S.
V-I-S or V-U-S?
V-I-S.
Orbis, okay. Is it a plain fishing store?
Yeah.
Well, it's an outdoor store. I mean, it's a lot of fishing stuff.
Camping, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's inside, you have to walk into the Galleria.
And they donated like, I think fishing rods and like all
Glasses,
kinds of
they-
stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff, yeah.
Okay.
And you know, actually, that's one thing I would bring up too. You know, we could pick and choose certain events and actually post out there on Facebook and stuff, hey, if anybody wants to donate any prizes towards this event,
No, you can do
you know? I mean, I actually even thought about posting, hey, if your kid's got anything for Christmas that they aren't gonna play with, feel free to donate to us, you know? Yeah, so I meant to ask everybody how what they felt about that. Okay. Okay, Fall Festival, Jack has the agreement. I'm just waiting to get it back and then I'll get it out. I don't know if you have an update on trying to get the fees electronic or not. You said for this year, we probably still wouldn't have it, right?
Right, I mean, when Cindy was all for it, we're still working with Washington Federal, which is our bank, and that seems to be the hangup right now is this connectivity with it, which is the right one. The other issue I have is her swipe charge, and I was talking to somebody in November that I found actually on TikTok, and they have really low swipe fees. And trying to pull this guy in here to do a demonstration when Dawn's around so that, you know, we get that level to the board. So hopefully I'll have it final by the end of January. That's my goal.
Well, the thing is too, for the swipe fee, as everybody else would, when you go buy something, you add that fee onto the price of whatever it is.
Right,
So it ain't costing us anything.
correct,
It's wrapped into the deal
correct.
and it's transparent.
You know, it used to be illegal to do that way back when.
Yeah. But that's
It's just gotten so out of hand that,
one of the reasons I went to all like dollar type things instead of $1.50, you know, try to cut out the change part of it. With you know, swipe fees, granted, they take their money right out of the transaction and before it even hits our account. I don't have any concerns about that. My concern is we want to make it cost effective for everybody. Give you an example. One of the food trucks said, "Why are you only charging like $5 a hamburger when the standard is $16?" I said, "There's no way I'm going to charge $16 for a hamburger in Cecil Township. Period. I mean, that's cost prohibitive for a lot of people coming here, and that's just an example of some of the issues that we have to deal with. We have to look at the big picture. Okay, we want to make it attractive for people to come in. So that's why I'm still trying to get the lowest possible charges.
Well, I know even at Gianni's, they changed their system
Oh, did they?
for card payments. Because the law or something went through where before Gianni's would eat the cost, they would hit you with it on their side, right?
Right.
Now it's automatic. It charges the customer, not Gianni's. So before when you went to Gianni's, you're like, you know, it's a cash or card. You say card, let's give me an extra $1 or $2. Remember they'd say you that?
yep.
Well, not, they don't need to. It's actually, when the sale gets generated, it's actually on, it doesn't hit Gianni's at all. It gets charged right to the customer.
That's a good point, because down at McSlauberfest down at McDonald's, Jay's Pizza had that sign up there that it's gonna cost an extra $1. You'll see that on your,
Go out to eat. We can even have this on our menu. Here's your cash price, here's your card price.
Yeah.
Well,
Go to a restaurant now. Here's your receipt, cash price, card price. You're like, okay, and whether you
and
have
nobody
cash or not,
blinks at
it is what it
anymore.
is. You
Yeah.
pay it,
Nobody blinks at it anymore.
but
so that way we'll still have Arlene or somebody there to do cash. I don't wanna get her tangled up in the credit
there should be no need. Swipe, go.
Yeah.
Like, if I pay with Apple Pay, I ain't signing it. I go, beep. I walk away. It's paid. I don't got to sign nothing. I don't got to do anything. For them?
Well, for the swipe, I mean, who's providing the machine?
Two Giannis, you mean?
Yeah,
I will find out.
okay. Find out who they're dealing with, because.
I will.
I've talked to this guy a couple times, and
Yeah, it shouldn't be that difficult.
No.
So,
everything I've seen thus far is like 35 cents a transaction, 50 cents a transaction.
but they're not charging you anymore. There's a law that went, I forget what law went in,
All right,
where the actual merchant is not responsible anymore. It goes right to the customer.
okay,
What about Square? Because that's what all the vendors use.
yeah. Square, there's something about communication with Washington Financial with Square. And I will
Okay.
get to the bottom.
Are you able to find out what they are able to communicate with?
Yes,
What means, whether it's Square, whatever it is, just for example, Square,
yeah,
what can they accept transactions from?
yeah.
We need to know that before we go with Avenue.
Yeah, and honestly, I just have to go around our finance department to find that out.
Okay, yeah, we just gotta know what,
We will have something in place. this
And we
year.
need you have to have good Wi-Fi, correct, for
Well,
the
that's
Square?
another issue, but you can do it on your cell phone as well.
well, yeah, but those, like the one at Gianni's, it's actually plugged into their network,
Okay,
okay? So there's an Ethernet cord there, they plug it in, and it uses the internet. Or like you said, you can have a hotspot or something,
we don't have Wi-Fi out there.
you use a hotspot, you don't need,
That's right.
yeah.
That's why if I can get a township phone, plug that in, the Square, and make that work, that would be a near-term fix, right? But I also want to do something long-term so that we get people used to coming in with credit cards and that.
We'll figure it out this year.
Okay, but I would like to get the email out to get vendors started signing up before they go other places, so can you get the agreement finished up and back to me so I can get it out? Thank you. Because, I mean, even if you have that resolved by the end of January, then by the time you get it set up, it's gonna be February, March before we can actually send it out to vendors and say you can pay this way. Whereas I can get it out, get some of those in, and once it's ready, then I can do a second email saying, okay, now, to anybody who didn't sign up yet, you know, you can pay this way now. Does that sound like a plan? Thank you. Okay. Anything else we need to look at right now as far as moving forward on Fall Festival?
Nope.
Okay. Any other new matters to bring up? Okay, anything else that you got on your plate, Jack, that you wanna?
I'm probably not going to, do anything with the Shetland Link this year, more from what transpired, through last year. I don't think anybody would be, upset if, we didn't do Community Day this year. 6 of one, half dozen another. Aside from that, let's just, get the advertising out every possible place we can. So far, the board is ecstatic with last year. Can we make it better this year? Yeah, but it's gonna be event by event, because we can't really top last year. Last year was just an incredible year, so. We'll get 2 more people on here to help out, plus other volunteers. I'd rather not do as many kid volunteers as we've done, like with the Easter egg hunt, when we had 30 people, most of which standing around doing nothing. But overall, they're as excited, I think, as we are for the new year. So,
I will say this, one last thing for the Fall Festival.
yeah,
Whatever bands we're gonna wanna pick,
Yeah.
I like to get them squared away soon.
Can you start working on it?
Who do you want?
well,
I mean, I don't know if you guys want the Next Again, or whatever the case is, or Bon Journey, I don't know.
do you want to center it around a theme this year? Where it could be, you could have like a certain genre or a certain decade of music.
No polka.
No polka, and we should
what?
get that kids band,
Ain't gonna
whoever they
happen.
were at the end. And maybe have like a battle of the kids bands.
Arlene has already called me, as has her son,
Of course he did.
about that friggin' polka band. And I said, it's up to the board, so I left it at your doorstep. I said,
No.
"It's up to the
Survey says?
We always say no. And then somehow.
I understand it was, my grandpap loved it. Had his accordion, all that nonsense. It was popular 50 years ago. It's just not now. I mean, and that demographic, unfortunately, of people that love that music are passing on.
They are.
So it's just not there.
I like having the demonstrations, I like having Lori Allen, and I like having the karate demonstrations. I think that's a good thing. The band, the teen band, that was great.
I still have his
They did
contact
have to
info.
adjust, you know,
Wayne
like,
Nagy, the guy that brought
Yeah.
the kids in.
Oh, yeah.
So,
they were a little too loud for at that time, because there wasn't, so, but
Who,
I
the
actually
kids?
said to the kid, you did a great job, you just need to know your audience a little more.
Oh, I
And
thought
you
they were
didn't adjust.
fantastic.
They were just too loud.
I didn't think they were too loud.
They couldn't hear them, they were trying to pull all the stuff for the drawings, and they couldn't.
well, I might have been,
Do the drawings while there's
yeah.
a band.
That's bad timing now.
Well,
It's the other-
That's bad timing.
They're a high
I mean,
school
you have,
band.
you have a band playing, you're trying to call numbers, come on now.
And yet they were a little bit immature in front of those microphones.
yes,
That was one thing that was noted repeatedly. You know, I heard that from a few different people.
some
Yeah.
of their banner was fun,
Yeah.
but some of it, like you said, was,
I agree with that.
yeah.
I agree with that part of it.
If you want, I mean, there's some suggestions that maybe there's a 70s theme, or an 80s theme, or a 90s theme, you know, or something like that.
You know,
But you gotta find bands that are gonna fit all those genres.
along that line,
That's
though,
the hard part.
you could also do this, like the band Saturday afternoon is 60s. The band later is 80s, then the next day the band earlier is 70s, and the band later is 90s. So you could actually have something from each genre.
Yeah.
But then you got, like I said, you gotta find bands that
We
play
have 'em.
those genres.
Yeah, we have them.
And we have
Where
time.
do you have them at?
In my back pocket. What's the one from Use we had, the one year, I mean, everybody loved them. The one Dawn used to be in.
Oh,
Not Backroads,
Backroads?
no. I have it at home. And then the next is what genre?
They're 90s, 2000s, yeah.
yeah, I think that's how I introduced
What
it.
happened with the Timothy Earl band? Were they too expensive?
No, we just never got them in time. Now, if we want the Timothy Earl band, we gotta call them like tomorrow, you know? Because, and I still have his contact information, if you want me to send it, or if you want me to reach out
Yeah.
and see what their schedule is, and even if we pencil them in,
That was procrastination on
Yeah.
that, yeah.
yeah.
So,
I mean, if you want the Timothy Earl band, they are reasonable. I mean, we're like talking $2,000, you know? This isn't like $5,000-$6,000. Actually, it was $1,500, I think, the last time. And I mean, they're on Froggy radio a lot. I mean, they're a lot bigger band than $1,500.
yeah.
I thought
I
we were
mean,
getting
me-
them last year. Like, what happened?
I don't think Bon Journey's worth the money.
I don't either. I don't
Just-
either. I really don't.
I haven't heard them in years.
Yeah,
When I heard them here,
yeah.
I'm like, it ain't the same.
Nope. Wasn't the same as it was down in McDonald either.
So it's for $3,000.
I mean, it brought some people in, you know.
It did,
I didn't think it brought as many in as I thought they would bring.
and again,
What were you saying?
I thought we had Timothy Earl band. I thought Dan
No.
was definitely getting them last year. Like,
We
what
could
happened?
never, well, we could never nail them down, and then because it was the last week in September and first day in October, I guess they had something,
yeah, they was already booked.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's why we gotta get them now. I'll reach out to them.
Offer them at whatever time they want either day, I would say, like, see when we can get them.
Yeah, and then there again, it's another advertising thing.
Are we able to get at all? Can I tell you right now, with the Nexus playing last year, even if somebody could get one, you see people had them there, they brought them in. It will bring a crowd, and like I'm telling you right now. And I don't see, everybody's so worried about it, I don't see people hanging off the trees and going crazy. I don't see that happening. You go down there, McSlobberfest, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was fine, and they're off the hook down there. Like,
You know, we talking a beer truck, or we just talking a vendor?
I'm just, like I said, when I could get off of the one that still sees all the time, it's just like Yeah, they sit there and they have the kegs inside the thing, dude, here you go, yeah.
See, down in McSummerfest, they have the tents. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, it's $4 for a glass of beer, you know? You either have a lot of money or limit what you drink, you know?
I don't see the issue with it. Especially when you have some bands, some of the, like, a lot of these bands have groupies, man. The Next is one of them, and they wanna have a beer. It's just,
All right, well, I gotta start with the police department, and if I can get him, if I can convince
I know a lot of people were against it, I get that. I just don't, I think we're missing opportunity and revenue and money on that when we shouldn't be.
Well, how do we make money on it?
Black Dog Hollow.
Black Dog Hollow,
Oh,
that's right,
yeah.
that's right.
They played here the other year, didn't they?
Yep.
How do we make money on it? We,
So if you could
We
break them
lost
down.
money on that thing, cause we tried to sell these cups.
No,
with
no, no,
the
no, no,
shirt,
no, no,
you
no,
know,
that
and-
wasn't, that was the fire station's shindig.
Yeah.
We,
No, we're
we
the
gave
ones-
them, we gave them cups to fill them up.
And we bought the shirts. We,
I understand that, but that wasn't part of them selling the beer. That wasn't really us. The beer part was not us.
right, but we lost money
I understand that.
on the deal.
Because
Like,
we
how
try to
we
do a
make money?
shirt, mug, buy a beer combo thing.
So how do we make money on it?
You literally just sell them a beer.
right, so much per glass stuff.
Yeah.
So you want to check with Black Dog Hollow, Timothy Earl Band? You want to start with those two?
Just shoot me, I don't have their contact info. If you have it, send it to me.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
fine.
have it.
Send it to us here.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
But yeah, I think there's opportunity there to make money that we're missing out on. Now, if somebody gets out of hand, they're gone.
Then what I'll do is I'll first talk to Sean and just say, look, this is what we're planning on doing. We're gonna need more police, in and around the park, right? Plan on it, you know, we're gonna have alcohol, and we understand what potentially can happen. It may not happen, it might happen. Then I have to go to the board of supervisors. All I need is 3, all right? And I think I can get 3 to
Think you can.
agree to it.
Yeah, I just,
Question is it gonna be a beer truck? If it is, let's figure out now where it's gonna be so we can paint this picture early on.
I would say right now, I would plan on, I can get DJ's contact that always does Steel Cities.
Okay,
It's like the trailer.
okay,
You know, if you ever go to one of their events there, go up there, here's beer, okay, here you go.
yeah,
And they play music and you sit there and hang out.
yeah,
It's the same thing. I think there's like 3 or 4 taps.
yeah.
You know, it's
So
like a,
then we get we get a portion of it, or how does that work though?
well, you pay for part of the, yeah, in a way, because you're paying for the truck to come there.
Right.
So you're keeping a portion of the revenue. The other revenue you can say is a wash because you're paying them. But yes,
Okay.
No, I know how that works, and that's why I was saying, if it's the beer truck, I understand that.
I would say paint the picture for a little, was it 6x6 beer trailer? You know what they look like.
What kind of beer though?
Whatever brand, like Miller Lite, whatever Coors Light people like, just the, you know what I mean? I mean, we're not gonna be selling IPA where people are gonna be out there licking the street.
No,
You know what I mean? Here's the 20% IPA, be all nuts.
Please, it hurts when I laugh.
You know what I mean? I would just, you know what I mean, just your, what all the commoners like, just Miller Lite, Coors Light. Maybe,
Iron
yeah.
City.
Well, I don't drink beer, I'm a liquor guy, so maybe we'll throw some Iron City to keep it all fresh.
Pittsburgh River Water.
Just that's an idea. I think with some of the bands we did have last year, including Bon Journey, we missed an opportunity to make a lot more money right there. Just simply because of that. Maybe, just me.
Okay, everybody has their to-do list? Yeah, I
Yes,
know
Mom,
yours
we
is the
do.
longest. Okay, meeting adjourned at 8.
8:10. I wasn't looking at my phone enough and see what time it was.
Yeah,
Jack, I don't know
why
what this
don't
came
think to
from.
do
This
that.
was cutting on the floor.
Yeah, I had to splice some.